Hey everybody, welcome again to a video in which I do a CSS Battle, that's CSSBattle.dev, daily target from the past. If you have a plus membership with CSS Battle, you can go look at these old ones and they're a lot of fun. Alright, this is from December 7th, 8th, and 9th of 2023. Making good progress on these guys. I'm almost half done with the backlog of videos. I enjoy doing them. I try to do 3 at a time. And let's get right to it. Okay, so I'm going to narrow in the colors to start with. I think this is a single element. Is this a single element, or should I do it as 3 elements? That's the question. Maybe this is 3 elements actually. So let's create a single and put width on it, 100, and then put this. So we're gonna do P. Just to start, we'll just do 1 for now, and then we'll have another element for this middle bit or a background. Either way, we're gonna do a display flex. So let's do that too. And we don't need to wrap. We don't need a flex wrap. So flex, we have a height width. Now with margins, we will narrow this. Top margin is 90 and left margin is 50, and the width of this guy, or the height rather, is 120, and that's 120 as well. So that's the first element. And then we're going to say P is the next one. He's going to be a little different, and I think he's pretty straightforward. So B, his background is going to be a linear gradient. Which is going to let through in its background. You need the word background, obviously, to set a background. That linear gradient, and it's going to be transparent to let through the background, 50%, and then this lighter green, 0. Now, and display flex isn't working because I have the wrong thing there. Oh, and I'm going to remove this guy because right now things are stretching in interesting ways and we don't like that. So let's do margin. Actually, if we change this margin number, 8, 72, 71, 70, 72, 3, 4. There it is. So 7450 now, because the margin of the paragraph tag is come into play when we set display flex. So okay, so width, we're going to make a variable var of --w or 120, and so on the B element we set a width and 50, and then let's use our diff tool. Now the jagged, I haven't forgot about the jagged part. We'll get there. Okay, 5, 6, 60. Okay, cool. And then this last one is C, and for that one I want him to be scaled flopped. So I need to flop him on the x-axis. To do that, I need to do scale -1, 1. And that's all I need. Now you can't see that yet. Why? Because reasons. All right, so the reason is that it's just a solid background and there's no way to see it. I assure you that it is flopped, but here we go. So let's do the I think that the basis for this is a conic gradient. So I'm actually going to make it a variable. It's not going to be clear why I'm making it a variable, but I am making a variable. Conic gradient, and it's this color, and then transparent 75%, and we can't see anything because we haven't put this variable on anything, but once we do it, we do var --c, and there it is. So that's a conic gradient that we have set. Now we can reuse this gradient, and I'm excited to do that. And it turns out that we also need to make that not transparent because we're going to cover part of this. So this is mostly right, but it is partly wrong. So when we do, we're going to, so that's on the background. And then the next time we use it, we're going to put it in at 100% over and 0. And it's going to be width of 50% and a height of 50%, comma. See that? So, and we want really no repeat. And there it is. So that's that gradient smaller. So let's do another one. The other one is the one on the bottom corner. So it's going to be very, 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 very similar. And that's at 0, 100%. And those are the shapes. So let's submit and make sure that we've got 100% match. And that's it. A nice tidy solution to that. I definitely did this with ClipPass. I was very excited to do ClipPass for the first time I did this. This is a different way. I don't think this is a better score. I haven't done minification, but I don't expect it to be a better score. But I do like this very much. I like the scale. So if you just do a -1, then that's what you get. So it's flopping both the X and the Y axis, and that's what that looks like. And then as I do sometimes, if I add text in there, you can see that the text is also upside down, which is silly, but true. And that makes it not very accessible. But so 0, 1. All right, and then let's minify and unit replace. Do a little trimming on some of the characters, and we'll have done this daily battle for the 7th of December 2023. And this is a better score than I've gotten in the past, so that's fun. All right, next. This guy. What is this guy? I kind of think, so we got triangles here, right? Are these all the same triangle? That's kind of the interesting question for me. And if they are, can I make one and then transform it? Or is that gonna be painful? So a triangle can be accomplished in many different ways. My favorite is probably the polygon clip path. So that's, and I'm going to do 100%, or sorry, 3 points. Almost said 4 points. 0, 0, 100%, 0, and then 50%, 100%. And that is a clip path. So can I, and I obviously don't want it to be pink, can I utilize that to accomplish what I want to accomplish? So let's do, all right, let's not set margins, and let's set a width. Okay. 100, 200 maybe? It's probably a little bit smaller than that. Okay, so let's use margins. 50, 100. Okay, and let's see if we can move that into place. Now we're kind of asking for trouble because we're unsetting the width. Let's try and figure out what the width of that is. 6, 7, there it is. 110, 115, 114, 113. Okay, and then the height, could it be 90? Could it be 80? Ooh, so we got that edge there, and that is not pretty. Not pretty at all. 2, 3, 4, 5, 3, 3. So is that a valid width? Well, we've got it. Let's do another one, and we should, in theory, be able to So I'm going to do a B on this one. And a C and a D. So for the B element, what I would like to do is flop it using that same scale method of -1. There it is. And then let's set our margins. Margin -100. Ah, okay. So already the margins are a problem because, so 113. So let's set a width. Let's set an explicit width. Let's do it as margin auto and then width. $20, $30, $40, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 50, 51, 52, 53, 54. What I'm looking for is alignment with the diff. Okay. Margin is flopped, and then it's -50 auto. 50, 60, 70. All right, so there's a triangle. So the question is, it's already looking like these lines won't work the way I want them to, and that's disappointing. C. Let's do a rotate. Rotate of 90 degrees. There it is. And now let's use margin. -100. And then for D, we're going to have to do something different. But let's do them at the same time. Rotate, just to make sure that we know which one we're looking at, -90 degrees. So now they're in the correct spot. And actually, let's do the -1 first. Okay. Okay. So which one is which? So that's that one. And so we want to just move his margins. Margin -100, 110, 30, 40, 30. Aha. 4, 3, 2. Okay. Getting close. So yes, I think that they are very similar. One, two, three. And then one. Oh. I'm adjusting these numbers to get things into place. Attempting to. Ugh. So. So close. I'm going to submit this, but I don't think it's good. But this is basically the plot and plan for what I was doing. And I don't like it. It's not particularly good. It's not particularly easy to look at. It's not easy to read. Let's do something different. All right. Cheese the whole thing. Now I'm going to use a blank template. I'm not going to use any elements if I can. And I'm going to start with a conic gradient. Yes, a conic gradient, which is going to be conic, this color 75% or 270 degrees, and then looking through the transparent like that. And then we move it by changing its background position. 100 pixels, 40 pixels. How about 9? 80 there. How about 80? 50, 60, 70, there it is, and then we need to change our at. Currently it's 50%, 50%, and so if we just increase the height and increase the width, 60, there it is, and then 60, how about 52, 53, 54, 53, 52, 100 pixels, 30, 40, 50, 60, there it is, okay. So this is our start. Now, what's the way to get those colors? I think that another conic gradient centered in the middle. So from minus 45 degrees, and then it's this color, 25%. And then transparent to let through what's behind, 0, 50%, and then that color again, 0, 75%, and then transparent again. Gets you part the way there. And that looks pretty good. So if I put this in the background, you can kind of see what we just created. And that seems a lot easier, a lot simpler. Is it better? Maybe. It seems a little iffy here, particularly on that last edge, its starting edge. If it's any different if I do 90 degrees instead of 25%? No, it's not. Is it any different if I do not that? Well, obviously that's a problem. What if I do 45 degrees? No, that's not any different. So we're just going to hope that this is good, even though there's a chance that it's not good. All right, let's do another conic gradient. Which is, again, from some value 135 degrees, or no, 225 degrees, right? So we're going around. We want to get to, from the top is where we start. That's 0 degrees. 90, 180, and then another half, 45 degrees, is 225 degrees. So, and then let's do this, and then that is 25%, and then transparent. And then we need to value, 1 pixels or something, 200, 130. Let's just move that over. We're just moving that on this x-axis. 4, 5, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. All right, and then let's do basically a very, very similar thing. And instead of from 225 degrees, it's from 45 degrees. And that one's at like 250 or 240 or 238, 37, 36, 35, or is it from 40, 41? All right, let's submit that. Doesn't look that much better, unfortunately. So is this 100% match? It's 99.9%, the dreaded 99.9%. So can we clean this up slightly? Let's try some decimals. All right, so that looks a little better. Very hard to see. 7.5, 0.6, 0.7, 0.8, 0.9. And then let's change this one as well. So we've got the conic gradient is our yellow, and that's at 50%, 50%. What if that's a different number? 100 pixels? 200 pixels is the number. 200 pixels at that height. No, it's 150 pixels actually. 150. So how about 148? 149, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Let's submit that. Is this any better? 99.9%. Okay, so nope. I don't feel confidence about getting this done in this way. So let's start again. All right, and so for this, I'm going to create an element for each quadrant. Not the prettiest thing in the world, but I think it's necessary for our purposes here. 75, 89, 80, and then this is what, 60 we said? No, 70. Okay, and then the height is like 50. No, the height is 50. Okay, so we've got 5 elements there. So we're gonna delete all but one. Okay, so the height is what, 60? And then let's set a width on it. Width is 10, 100, 110, 20. 120, and that makes sense. Okay, all our colors are wrong, but I know I want a linear gradient. Linear gradient, which is color, transparent, color, and that's at 45 degrees. And then this background is really this. So if I make my P, and then the next one is flopped on the x-axis, and then the next one is flopped on the y-axis, and the next one is flopped on the y and the x-axis. Those are the elements, and then I'm going to create a scale CSS declaration, which is a var of -x or 1, which means don't flop it, and a var of a -y or 1. So for the x attribute, we set -x to -1, and then you can see the effect there. I haven't put the display flex on the body, and I need flex wrap as well. -y of -1, and those are the parts. All right, so let's display flex, which will force all of them in a line, but I don't want that. I don't want them to get squeezed. I want flex wrap to apply. And there it is. And that's already looking better. And the reason it's looking better is because the error, right, the problems that are with it are all symmetrical. Rather than, oh, that line at the top, those two lines at the top are a little off. Like, this way I have a little bit of control. So 40%, let's say 0. And then 60%, 0. Close. 41. How about 39? 39%. Let's submit that. And interestingly, now we do actually have a little bit of a more of an error. All right, how about 100 pixels? 6, 5, 55, 0.1, 0.2, 55 pixels. Let's submit that. Still the same problem? Let's find out. Still 99.9%. So the top one's definitely a little bit different, huh? That's definitely feels like what we're seeing there. What that means is that maybe I need another attribute, in which case I need another variable. So this the second number is 60%. That's the problem. So var of -- s for second number. Actually, let's call it A, because that's the A attribute. So for anything with the A attribute, I want to have a slightly different color stop. A is 50 pixels. 60, 70, 80, 81, 82, 83, 84, 85, 0.1, 0.2, 0.3, 0.5, 0.6, 0.5, 0.4, 0.5. Okay. Is that 100%? It is not. In the frustration category, that's a lot of frustration. All right. So is it the first number is also a problem? 54. Yeah, it's a little thicker, real different. So let's do var dash dash b or that number, and then let's adjust that number dash dash b. Right now it's 55. Let's call it 50 pixels so we can see what it's doing. There it is. 1, 2, 3, 4, 0.5, 6, 7, 8, 0.9, 5.1, 0.2, 0.2. Let's submit that. And let's see. Are we in the ballpark? 99.9% again. Hugely bummerific. Don't like that. Don't like it. Because this is a pretty good match. So the question is, would we do better with something like a border of an object that's rotated? Something along those lines. Because clearly this is not getting it done. So what's the approach that we would like to take? Well, we don't like this at all. Like, this is like no fun. This has me wanting to see how I did it before, because I believe that I have done it. And in fact, let's go back a year ago and see how I accomplished this a year ago. Load code. So that's all linear gradients on the body with transforms and a bunch of calcs. So I did it with calcs. And clip paths. So yeah, there's your triangle. So it's 2 triangles and then linear gradients and conic gradients on the body. Ugh, terrible. All right, let's look at my best solution and see if we can learn anything from it. So this, okay, oh, that's no. My solutions, let's go show only 100% match. So actually, no, this is actually the same technique. So what's different about this guy? I'm fascinated by, so let's see. Again, we've got style, we got barge and set, we got a background of the color, we've got display flex and flex wrap, and then I got this old way that I was doing X and Y, and let's set that in a different way. All right, and then this is a linear gradient, which is astoundingly similar to what I had before. Height, width, transform is the scale. So let's do, instead of the transform scale, let's do scale, comma, and then we remove 1 paren. And that's almost the same code. We can't see it because there's a comma there. And let's submit that. I mean, that's almost the same code. Almost the same code. And that's 100% match. So I'm at a loss for what I had going on. I had this using the same technique. Let's unit replace and minify and resubmit this. And this should be a better score. I'm sorry. This is the same technique that I was just working on and wasn't getting 100%. I guess the difference is that I was trying to use percentages in the one that wasn't working, and maybe I had to use pixels, but then I think I switched to pixels and it still wasn't working. So what can you do? Something about that scale, something about, yeah. All right. Apologies for that one. I showed you several techniques of how to address it, but in the end I had to resort to an old solution. Sorry about that. Will I do the same thing here? Week out? Actually, maybe. Let's copy and paste this. And go, well, because I think that the right solution is here is the same thing. So let's change our margins. This margin 5, 4, or maybe it's 0. Yeah, 4. So let's set colors on the body just for giggles. And then we just replace some of these things. Is that fun? It's not that fun. How about 38? Okay, and then make them taller. 10, 11, 12. Similar idea, yeah. Similar idea. Change that to minus. Okay. And there's a lot of similarities between this and that one. So yeah, let's lean into that. I think it's kind of hilarious that I can reuse some of this code. Getting some very odd wrapping there, which is also kind of on the funny side. All right. I don't know what the wrapping logic of this editor is doing, but it is very silly. All right. Okay. So 3, 2, 30. There it is. 30, and then 70. Sure. And then how about and then solid. Actually, let's go ahead and do that. And then let's do this other color again. And then do another. So, okay. So we want the light blue, the dark blue, transparent, and then the dark blue. So no trailing commas. There it is. And we need the little dark blue at the end. Okay. And then if I put red here, then we can see what area we're looking to go through. 10. Okay. So that's the matrix for what we're trying to do. Well, I think we do another linear gradient, this one at 45 degrees. 45 degrees. And it's dark, light, dark, light, dark, light, dark, light, dark. Dark starts with the 3. And that's kind of the shape. So if we plug in numbers, all right. Let's set that some big number. 10, 2, 20, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35. Sure. 0. And we've got 50. Great. So I'm adjusting the numbers. $95. Great. 120 pixels and 0. And 10, 20, 30, 35. Is it that simple? Very similar in a weird way. So what is that? So that's 100% match. So that linear gradient is, so if I put red in here, you can see what that is, right? And then there's yellow. You can see how that's functioning. But that is satisfactory. Minify, unit replace, and submit. Whoops. I have clobbered using my minify plugin because this color stop didn't minify correctly, and so I got an 86.7% score, which is no good. Let's submit, and that's 100%. All right, so not my finest outing. Thanks for watching along. Happy with this one. Not happy that I was able to get back to this code, even though I mean, granted, I wrote it, many months ago, but still, the same concept seemed to be producing different kinds of errors, and you can kind of see, even though this is 100% submission, it's got lines that indicate an asymmetric error. So the thing that I've been saying about asymmetric errors is that it's an indicator of a problem, but sometimes it's just an artifact of 45-degree angles and ovals, circles can be a little bit trickier on the diff, right? And then some color combinations also seem like they have more extreme diffs than are indicated. So that was December 2023, 3 CSS Battle daily targets. Make of it what you will. Have a great day. Take care of each other. Make something cool with CSS. It's clearly very, very powerful, even if sometimes it feels like I don't know what I'm doing with it. All right. Take care. Bye-bye.